I have 55 piercings and I get asked a lot of questions about them. And in this week's video, I'm going to be talking about my 2 tongue piercings and answering the most commonly asked questions that I get about them. Question number 1, and the main question that I get by far, is did it hurt? I got my first tongue piercing in 2013 when I was in New Zealand. And I was pleasantly surprised. It didn't hurt anywhere near as much as any of my other piercings. But I can't really compare it to them as well because getting your tongue pierced feels nothing like any other piercing. If you're thinking about getting your tongue pierced, I can guarantee you that it's going to hurt a hell of a lot more if you tense your tongue. Because your tongue is a muscle, when you're tensing it and the needle goes through, it's pushing through tense skin. The worst thing after getting your tongue pierced for the first time is the swelling. After you get your tongue pierced, it will be swollen and painful for about 1 to 2 weeks. Now, in this time, it is painful and very uncomfortable and hard to eat food. The number one thing that you need to remember if you're getting your tongue pierced is while it's healing, you shouldn't consume any dairy products. Because your tongue is basically an open wound, eating dairy products can cause a yeast infection in your mouth, which is what you do not want to happen. When you're brushing your teeth, it is very important to be brushing your tongue. Now, this is what most people should be doing on a day-to-day basis, but scrubbing your tongue with the toothbrush is going to help a lot. And if you're worried about aftercare of getting a tongue piercing, you should probably buy a new toothbrush for while your tongue is healing. This will just allow your tongue to heal better and just prevent any problems for the healing process of your tongue. At most pharmacies, you can buy a mouthwash that has an anesthetic in it. So what that will do is numb your tongue slightly. And this helps within the first couple of days when it is very swollen and very painful. And the mouthwash will help to just rinse everything out and keep it clean and keep it a lot more sanitary in your mouth. I got my second tongue piercing in 2015 and it did hurt a lot more than the first one, but that was because it was on the side of my tongue, not in the middle. And on the side of my tongue, it's a lot thicker. And it just, oh dear Lord, it hurt so bad and it bled a lot. And the healing took about 2 to 3 weeks for it to heal properly. And that brings me into aftercare of a piercing. Even after it's healed, you still need to look after it. Now, brushing your tongue when you're brushing your teeth, that's the number one thing that you need to do. If you have a tongue bar that is too short for your tongue, that can cause major problems. And the reason for that is that the ball on either side of the tongue bar is pushing against your tongue, which can cause swelling and pain. I get that in my side tongue bar if I'm not careful and I put the wrong tongue bar in it, or if I put one that's too short. After a while it will start to hurt and it will start to push against the tongue bar. If you're experiencing no problems but you can see like a little ring around where the ball is of your tongue, that's normal. As long as it's not swollen and as long as it's not painful, there's no problem and there's nothing that you need to worry about. Just make sure that you're cleaning it properly when you're brushing your teeth. Another question that I get asked is about eating food after a tongue piercing. Now, like I said, when you have just gotten your tongue pierced, it is going to be painful and it's going to be very uncomfortable to eat food for a week or 2. But apart from that, when it's fully healed, there is nothing that is different. I can eat food just completely normally. I very rarely get food stuck in my tongue piercings, and there's no other problems that I find with having my tongue pierced. And the last question that I get asked is, does my tongue bar rub against my gums and my teeth? And the answer is yes. The middle tongue bar occasionally will rub against my gums on the front of my mouth. And the side tongue bar on occasion will start to rub against the back of my teeth, like around my gums. But if you're having this problem with the tongue piercing, what you can get is flat tongue bars. So the ball is completely flat against your gums and against your teeth. I've tried this on my side tongue bar, but it really doesn't like it. But that could be because of the positioning of the tongue bar, and my tongue bar in the middle is slightly on an angle. So that is why it's rubbing against the gums at the back, slightly on this side. And I have tried a flat tongue bar with that one and it doesn't work because of the positioning of my tongue bar, but generally it should work for most people. Another problem that I get with having my side tongue bar is occasionally I might bite down on it, but that's because it is slightly longer than the tongue bar that's in the middle. And because it's slightly on the side and the tongue bar is longer, yes, I will bite it. It doesn't mean that the bar is too long, it just means that because the side of my tongue is a lot thicker than the middle, that bar has to be a lot longer, which is a pain in the backside sometimes, and because of the positioning, yeah. But apart from that, I don't tend to have any problems with mine. Sticking your tongue out at other people, that takes a little bit more effort than it would have before, because I have to open my mouth to do it. I have to actually consciously do it. So to stick my tongue out involves that, rather than just because the tongue bar will get caught on my teeth if I just stick my tongue out. I hope you liked this video, and if you did, please be sure to give it a big thumbs up and please subscribe if you haven't already. Thank you so much for watching. I love you all, and I will see you next week.